Good afternoon. I just flew in from the United States, and every time I fly, I have this insatiable urge to create art. So this afternoon, I would like to make some art right here, right now. Will you help me make some art? Yes, excellent. Okay, would you take out your phone, please? Let's do this quickly. Time is of the essence. Take out your phone and open your camera. Since we are the selfie generation, I'm going to take a selfie of me with you. And would you please hold up your phone and take a picture so we create this collaborative art project? Okay, you ready? Hold on. You in the green dress, what expression should we give right now? Ooh. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ooh. One more. How about you in the green shirt? Happy. Okay, you ready? We're going to do this with hands. 1, 2, 3. Happy. Woo! And I'm going to take one more because Pear had his eyes closed. Would everybody smile, please? And you in the orange, would you hold my phone for me, please? If anybody calls, will you take a message? You can take that picture and post it to theconf. And now that we have created something together, I would like to have a chat about how to inspire people to participate, how to get involved and do something new. And I'm here today to talk about my life as a revolutionary. But before I do that, I would like to introduce you to Charlotte Binns. Charlotte is a social entrepreneur who lives in Brooklyn, New York. She is a technology CEO, and last year she sold her tech company. She is inspired and passionate about creating resilient communities that are self-reliant. And Charlotte recently introduced me to this idea of participatory budget making. Have you heard of this, participatory budgeting? Now, it's this wonderful concept. So it is a way of empowering citizens, empowering community members to determine how part of their tax dollars are spent. The way that she introduced me to this is through this place. This is a sports yard and playground at a school in Brooklyn. It's called Public School 19 Brooklyn Arbor. Charlotte heard about this budget process that was going to be happening, and she decided to make a proposal. She spoke to the people at this local school and said, what do you think needs to happen? What would the kids here like to see? They said a couple different things. They said, we would like to be able to use the basketball court and the baseball diamond at nighttime. We would like to have a little bit more insulation from the freeway that is right next to our school. And we would like to perhaps dig up some of this asphalt and put in a learning garden where children can learn about nature. So this was the vision that she helped formulate in talking with the people at the school. Now, the participatory budget process, their city councilman designated $1 million that would be allocated to projects that were voted on by the local community. So there were 15 projects that came in. Now, here's the really cool thing, is you only had to be 14 years old in order to vote on the projects. You could vote for up to 5 projects, and you had to live in the local area. So what they wanted to do with this was they wanted to, in order to make it possible for people to play at nighttime on the basketball court, was they wanted to put in lighting, they wanted to put in benches and trash cans. To create protection from the freeway, they wanted to plant a living wall. They wanted to tear up the asphalt and put in a learning garden where the kids could learn about how to grow food. Remember, Charlotte's passion is about creating resilient, self-reliant communities. And food is something that we all need. So they ended up winning in the competition against the 14 other programs. They won 40% of the $1 million purse, so they won $400,000 for this project. And what gets me so excited about this is that this project is an example of people, local people, determining what should happen in their local place and being empowered to do so. one of the things that's really fantastic about this is engaging the young people. So not only did they have to go through voting, but they had to go and inspire people to get involved and vote. So what they did was Charlotte led people. She led the young people to go knock door to door and say, hey, we're really excited about doing this thing. This is something that we want to see. This is going to improve our lives. Will you vote for us? And it worked really well. As the principal said, to paraphrase, what was fantastic about this is that they are training the young people to participate. They're training to see it as a responsibility. And this is necessary because our young people are our leaders of tomorrow. They are the people who will be shaping our society tomorrow. Now, I want to talk about the grand challenges that we're facing today. As you all know, there are major issues that we're up against. We have poverty, overpopulation, pollution, more extreme weather, commonly called climate change, that is devastating, extremely expensive, and is only expected to get worse unless we do something about it. We are facing an unprecedented rate of extinction, particularly of our major fauna. These things threaten our existence as a species on this planet. On top of that, we have some of the smartest people on the planet right now saying that we are at a risk of annihilating ourselves unless we create an ethical convention on weaponized artificial intelligence. So these are the grand challenges of our day. And I created something because I think that we need everybody who is capable, everybody who is able to participate in creating solutions and implementing solutions. We need all of them, all of us involved. So I created a framework. The framework does a few things. First, it shifts people from being passive consumers of life, who are waiting for authorities or waiting for other people to take care of things for them. Have you ever been in that situation? I certainly have. I've waited for people to take care of things for me. And then I started realizing that I don't need to do that I am an incredibly powerful being, much like every human being on this planet. The framework awakens people to being creators of solutions, to being people who can implement those solutions. And on the bigger scale, the framework builds the human network. And the network is made up of individuals and community nodes all around the world and also on a local level. So why is this framework important? It's important for a couple reasons. It's important because we have those major challenges that we need to deal with. And anybody who is capable of helping must help. It's the 11th hour. The second thing is, no matter what it is that you want to do on this planet, you need other people to help you do it. So we build our businesses, we get stuff done through the people that we know. Isn't that right? Yes. So the framework has 7 elements. I've broken it into 3 categories. The categories are attitude, access, and agency. Attitude has 2 parts to it. The first part is curiosity. How does curiosity start? Curiosity starts with questions. So first we begin with questions of self. The number 1 question is, what do I want? Personally, I want to stabilize climate change. The next question is, what can I give? Or what can I contribute? Or what can I do? Next, questions of others. If I'm trying to create a solution in a specific neighborhood, I must involve the people of that neighborhood. What did Charlotte do? She went to the school and said, what do you want to see? There's all of this money available. What do we want to do? So what do you want? What's in the way of making that happen? What are your ideas on how to solve it? And what can you do about it? The second part of attitude is this idea of inclusion. For a long time through human history, we have had this way of imposing our imperial solutions on other people, thinking that they will stick, thinking that we know best. But if you're trying to create a solution for an individual, a group of people, a neighborhood, you must ask the people of that place, what they think is best because they have local knowledge, historical knowledge, cultural knowledge that an outsider doesn't have. This is a personal hero of mine. His name is Marlon Parker. Marlon lives in South Africa, and he is what I call a certifiable badass. Does anybody know someone like that? Yes? So Marlon started an organization called Our Labs. It started because he said, I want to impact the life of one person. Marlon teaches computer science at a university in Cape Town. So he said, okay, well, what can I give towards that? Well, I have this computer knowledge. He grew up in the Cape Town flats. If you know anything about South Africa, if you know anything about apartheid, the Cape Town flats are where all of the people with brown skin live. And there are major issues with drugs, major issues with violence and gangs. And this is where Marlon grew up. And so he said, well, I want to work with, it started with one person. And he started teaching this person how to use social media. And that person, who was formerly in a gang, said, can I bring my friends along? And so Marlon started teaching this guy and his group of friends. And they started loving learning how to use the internet. They then said, Marlon, can you teach some of our friends? And Marlon said, how about if I teach you how to teach? So what the group of former gang members then did was they started hosting classes. And they started hosting classes for young people. They then hosted a class for grandmothers. They then hosted a class for women and mothers. And they started empowering these people with tools. Marlon says, we are in the business of creating economies of hope. One of the things that I love about his work is they created a space in one of the townships, and it is a place for learning where it has a cafe, and it's open. It's called the Youth Cafe. It's open to teenagers. And what they do is it's open to any teenager. They can come in, they take a class on something. It can be design, it can be how to use email, it can be how to do web browsing, like basic stuff, up to more advanced classes. And for every class that they take, they get a credit that they can use to buy a coffee or buy a sandwich. And when you're coming from a place where there is abject poverty, where you are surrounded by gang violence, where you're surrounded by your friends dying, having this sort of agency is a really big deal. The second category of the framework is access. The third element is space, and I'm talking about physical space here. So what did Marlon do? He created a physical place where people could come and get education, where they could meet each other, where they could connect. The importance of having physical space is for social collisions. So you can meet somebody face to face, have a conversation, ask questions, share ideas, get feedback on what it is that you're interested in doing. The fourth element is information, tools, and training. So what did Marlon do? He created this place where people could educate each other. Would you like to meet my mom? Yes, this is my mom. I took this picture of her on Saturday in San Francisco. She's a fabulous woman. As I like to say, the nut doesn't fall far from the tree. Now, why am I showing you my mom? I'm showing you my mom because she demonstrates how easy it is to connect, how easy it is to access things to empower yourself. My mom had a problem, which was she was afraid that she wasn't going to have enough money for retirement. This is a problem that many people are facing, particularly in the United States. So what did she do? She took her passion, which is jewelry. She loves costume jewelry. She collects just a ridiculous amount of this. I'm like, this is just insanity. And she is launching her own Etsy shop. And she just told me on Saturday that she has developed a relationship with a woman in England through eBay. And same situation. This woman was concerned that she wasn't going to have enough money for retirement. And so she started her own little jewelry shop. Now my mom has this friendship with this woman in England. I'm like, yeah, go mom. And so what this shows is it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what your interests are. We are so connected now. And we have so many tools that no matter what solution you're seeking to create, no matter what your interests are. The answer is out there for you. The third category of the third category of the framework is agency. So the first element in creating agency is inviting. And what was I doing when I asked you this? I was tricking you into playing with me. So I was inviting you to get involved with something that I wanted to do. I believe that what is most satisfying in life is contributing. Growth and contribution. Contribution is the sweet spot, isn't it? Where you get to add value to somebody else's life or add value to their business in a way that brings you more alive. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Yes? So, I believe that even though this is the most satisfying thing in life, most people have a hard time doing it because many of us don't realize that we have something to contribute. And so oftentimes all it takes is a simple invitation of, hey, would you like to get involved with this? Or, hey, I saw this opportunity over here and it reminded me of that passion that you have. Would you like an introduction? Do you want to check this out? The next part of agency is connecting. And connecting, am I out of time? I am out of time. Well,
maybe we could save it for questions later.
Okay.
So we have time for Q&A.
This has been really wonderful.
Yeah.
You can come talk to me. We'll talk about this more. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosie. Yeah.